and welcome back to Mandy Beauty. It's been a hot minute since you've seen me here, but I have returned. I am in a different spot than you normally see me in, and I also already have my makeup done because today we are going to be talking about something completely different than makeup. Of course, it still relates to beauty because for me, beauty is a big part in how you see yourself. And today is going to be about my weight journey. What prompted me to make this video is two things. We are heading into 2021, and I know that there's going to be lots of videos about weight loss and, diet promotion, etc. And I also saw this one video, and it was, your standard my weight journey. I went from being fat to being skinny, and here's what I did. Cue me looking at pictures of when I was fat and being absolutely disgusted, that kind of thing. I think it's completely different to look at yourself from before and think about, if you do lose weight, wow, now I feel so much healthier. Or for me, I have something called GERD, so I just get a lot of acid reflux, and so I know something for me, like when I do lose weight, I'm going to be happy because hopefully that will be a little bit more under control. But I think it's kind of sad when people look back at themselves in their fat bodies and just slander themselves so much just because there are people that do have those bodies and they are real human beings and they are watching your videos, and that is really hurtful. So that's kind of why I was prompted to make this video in this moment. For me, it is a very emotional subject because I just can't really remember a time where I wasn't on a diet or I wasn't trying to be skinny or just have a different body than what I do, and that's kind of sad. So for the most part, a lot of the weight journeys that I have seen on YouTube are mostly about, again, how one person went from being really overweight to really skinny, and those are fine and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm always really happy for people who achieve what they want to in life. I haven't seen something that just talks about how it's not linear all the time. There's a lot of people that I know that have lost weight and then they gain it back, and then they do something else, they lose it again, and then they gain it back again. And I haven't really seen a video like that on YouTube. Not that I've really tried to look for one, but I decided I would create one because I'm one of those people who have gone on some kind of crash diet, lost so much weight, and then blink and then it's back. Okay, so this video is going to be broken up in 3 parts, and it is going to be a long video. Stay in for the ride, but also time is very precious, so if you have to pause and come back, that's also totally fine too. When I was about 18 or so, I went on this diet called Ideal Protein. So you'd be on a keto diet and then you would go to this place called Ideal Protein, and they would have a bunch of different foods that you could buy. Super expensive, and the foods were pretty disgusting if I may say so myself. So I would get like a little chocolate milk shake thing, and then I would get these like little keto chips. So I went on that for about 2 months, and I think I lost about like 20 to 30 pounds. I went to the movies with my sister one time, and she was like, Amanda, like, you're allowed to treat yourself sometimes, because for me it was either I'm on a diet 100% or I'm just like eating whatever the heck I want. For me, like, as soon as I went to the movies and I had this whatever meal I had, I was just like, oh my goodness, like now I can't go back to Ideal Protein and like eat these disgusting chips and this disgusting milk chocolate drink. I can't do it. And then what ended up happening is that since I wasn't following like 1,000-calorie diet for however long, I just ended up gaining the weight back because I was eating like a normal human being. Okay, so here's the second part. This part is when I lost the most amount of weight that I have ever lost in my life and actually had the body that I dreamed of since I was a kid. So I guess I was pushing about 220 pounds-ish. The thoughts that I had was how I just wanted to be able to shop where my friends shopped, try on clothes. I went out with a friend one time. I tried on a pair of pants and they were size 10. I was like, oh yeah, like these really don't fit me, but I don't think they knew the size. And they were like, well, you can just go up. And I was like, no, I can't go up. Like, this is the biggest size that they have is a 10.
And this is just another food for thought. Have you ever seen a men's plus size store? Like, just exclusively for like XXL, whatever it is. Because I haven't. When you go into a men's store, like for example, my boyfriend worked at Ted Baker. They carried up to like 3XL for men's, and they only carried up to a size large for women's. What? Or maybe extra large. But anyways, why can't it be the same?
So I think a big factor for me wanting to lose weight was specifically about clothes. And of course the next factor is the male gaze. Ridiculous, but it's something that is very true. You know, like from a young age we're made to think that love is like the most and the best and makes your life so much better. And I had never had a boyfriend. I wanted to be able to wear the clothes that I wanted to wear without like not fitting into it, because that is a horrible feeling. And I just wanted men to look at me. That's kind of like my two main reasons. There was one night where I went to a club. I was driving that night, so I went with my friend and then we picked up one of her friends, and the two of them were in front of me, so the bouncer automatically thought that like the two of them were together and that I wasn't really with them, so he took their IDs at the same time and he was like, wow, you two are both so beautiful. And then, you know, there's little, I think I was about like maybe 20, and I just went up and I was like, hi. And I gave him my ID. He just looks at it and then he looks at me and then he's like, here. And I was just like, oh, okay. So that was kind of the start of my night. Not that it matters if other people think you're beautiful or not, but when you're 20, you know, you're a little impressionable. On this night, my friend went through a breakup, so she was on the prowl. She was there to chat with the men. Her personality is just so inviting. She's hilarious. She is so bubbly. And she's just so beautiful. Like the minute she walks into a room, like everybody is just like drawn to her immediately. And so, you know, I'm with her and I'm like, this is fun. We're gonna chat with boys. She started talking to a guy and he had one other friend with him. And so, you know, like I'm thinking, okay, well, like I guess the two of them will chat. So then him and I will chat. So I'm trying to make conversation, and you know, this is not even like, wow, this is a guy I'm really interested in. No, not at all. I was just like, well, we can talk, you know, that's fine. He didn't want to look at me. He wanted nothing to do with me. And I was just like, what the heck? Like I had never felt just like hideous, you know, like I'm so gross to the point that you don't even want to like talk to me. It just felt like it was, I don't know. It was a really horrible feeling. You know, saying it out loud, of course, is like things that matter more. But, you know, when you're just young and you want to be social and you want to like talk to people that you like and, you know, you want to meet someone, that's kind of hard. I think that kind of made me hit rock bottom in terms of just like feeling really crappy about myself. And, you know, like from the clothes not fitting to me trying to talk to people, they don't even want to look at me. It just, I don't know, it makes you feel some kind of way. I went to the gym like a maniac and I ended up losing like maybe about 20 pounds by myself. But then for me, I hit a point where I just plateau and I can't lose anymore. So then I ended up doing another diet called the 21-Day Fix. And so this is one where you would have like containers and you would eat specifically what's in the containers, and then you would do 30-minute workouts every day. So this is pretty doable. Again, I was living at home and my parents, again, eat very healthy, so I would just fill up my containers with whatever my parents made and then I would eat it, and I would do my little 30-minute workout. On top of that, like I worked very minimally, like I worked Saturdays, I think, and I went to university, so my time was just free. I could go to the gym whenever I wanted. I had no responsibility. You know, it's pretty easy to lose weight when you just like, I don't know, you don't have a lot to do, so that's your main focus in life. Yeah, and so I ended up going again from the 220, and then I actually ended up being 148 pounds. Which to me was sweet, because like I don't know, when you gain weight and when you're just a bigger person, it just creeps on you like no one's business. When you are not built with the type of body that I have, you can do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, do whatever type of exercise that you want, and like you won't see it. But if you have my type of body and you just do like a slight thing that's wrong a few times, like it just, like it'll come on you. So I started working at an agency, and honestly that was one of the best times of my life. Like that was my most, like the most funnest summer that I've ever had in my life, and I'll remember it forever. But also like I was working. If you know about agencies, you were just constantly working. When I started working, that's kind of when I stopped working out as much as I used to. From the beginning of the summer to the end of the summer, I noticed that I gained like maybe 10 pounds. I was like, dang, like that's crazy. The only thing is that also when you work in an agency, instead of paying you like a livable wage, what is that? They just decide to feed you a lot of food. So anyways, I had like lots of junk food all the time, and like I'm just the type of person where like if you were giving me like a gourmet meal from like a beautiful restaurant and I'm like drained from working, I'm probably going to take the meal because I'm exhausted, instead of being like, no, that's okay, I'm gonna make whatever when I get home. Anyways, that's also a lesson that you have to learn when you begin working full time, and I learned it. I did for sure. So anyways, at the end of that summer, I gained some weight. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal because it wasn't that much. So I was like, well, I'm just going to lose it. And also during that time, I ended up living with my brother for the summer because it was really close to where I worked, so I could just walk to work. After that was over, I went back to live with my parents. And so I ended up losing the weight that I gained, which was great because, you know, again, I was in school, didn't have a lot of responsibility, and my parents made my food. Anyway, so in the following year, in about February, I ended up getting an IUD. Since I was living with my parents, I was still like eating super healthy. I was still working out a lot. And I noticed that like my jeans just like weren't fitting me anymore. And I was just like, in 3 weeks, they just don't fit me. I was like, what the hell? I don't know if that means anything. But I was still working out quite a bit. My friends and I, we this kind of little bonding thing where we would go do all these workout classes. And, you know, of course I was living with my parents. I was still eating pretty well. But the scale just, you know, like my weight just kept going up no matter what I was doing. And I was just like, and then, you know, like for me, the more weight I gained, the harder it was to work out, which also made it like not want to work out as much. And then once you're working so hard and you're just constantly working to lose weight, keep it off, you just, I don't know, you get exhausted about constantly thinking, how many calories am I consuming? How many calories did I burn today at my workout? Oh my god, I'm stepping on the scale, my weight's still going up. It honestly just like, it gets exhausting and it just gets really sad, honestly, because you're just working so hard to just maintain something that you worked so hard for, and you're doing all the things that you've always been doing, and you're trying to change things up, change out the workouts, but like nothing happens. Like you still just keep gaining it. The other sucky part is that, water break before I cry, you then go on social media and you just see all the crappy things that people say about those that are fat. Like, wow, you're just really unhealthy, and like it's really horrible for you to be putting your unhealthy body standards out there. Like, you need to lose weight, you need to go work out and eat like a salad, and then you're gonna lose weight. And things like that are just so harmful. They're harmful, they're horrible, so unnecessary. Do not for 1 second say that you comment horrible things on people's posts who are overweight because you care about their health, because you really do not. That has harmful side effects to one's mental health, and that health is just as important as physical health. I was just trying to do something that was like a lifestyle change instead of dieting. I love smoothies, so I would make smoothies with lots of spinach and fruit and whatever. I would try like different vegan options, and so I can have more vegetables and fiber because I'm not really a vegetables person too much. Yeah, I was just trying out different things because I was just tired of like counting my calories, counting how much whatever I burned working out. But I was still working out like, you know, at least 3 times a week, and I was doing like vigorous working out too, like weight training and lots of running, and I enjoyed that. It made me feel good about myself. Yeah, so basically it got to a point in my life where I just didn't want me thinking about my weight to just consume all of my thoughts. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make lifestyle changes. So I decided not to really drink anymore. I got older and I realized that I just didn't really care too much about it. No more pop or juices, and I mean the rest of my eating habits were like okay. I would eat decent amount of vegetables, protein, and I never really consumed dairy because it made me feel not so good. So I found myself here, and I haven't even weighed myself, but I can tell that I weigh more than what I did when I first lost all of my weight initially. Like, I can just tell, and I don't want to step on the scale because I know it's just gonna do more damage than good. How do I feel about that? Yeah, this part's always really hard to talk about because I do have a lot of confidence in who I am, but you know, like, for so much of my life I just wrapped my identity in losing weight. And so when I finally did it, I finally lost the weight, and I was just so happy because I was like, yeah, I am who I am now, like, I've done it all. And then I just gained it back, and it's been really hard to just separate that from my identity. Like, I'm not the weight that I am, I'm not the weight that I lose, I'm not the weight that I gain. It's also crazy because you think about all the people that you have to like see again, and then you just know like they're gonna be thinking about the weight that you gained. And I always tell myself like what other people think of you is none of your business, and that usually helps me. But when it comes to weight, it just doesn't, because you know, you would lose weight and you would get so many compliments like, oh my god, like, you're looking so good, and then you know, you gain the weight back, and it's just like the conversation is different. I talk about, you know, loving yourself and just finding love in yourself, and I preached a lot, and you know, sometimes I struggle with it, especially this year in particular. But you know what, like, we have different seasons in life, and you know, this season is just a particularly hard one, and I know it's not just for me, but it's for many people. And yeah, I just felt like I went from having the body that I dreamed of to just backtracking, and it really sucks to put the clothes on that I would wear literally just a few months ago and they don't fit. It sucks just like not even wanting to buy clothes because I'm like, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. The weight's gonna be gone soon. Like, I don't need to buy new clothes. It can be really tough when people point it out, and they do, and they give you their rationale of why they think that you've gained weight. Somehow they think that they are more effective than the actual person. Anyways, so here I am today talking to you guys about it. I'm just figuring it out. Some things that I am trying to do actually have nothing to do with dieting or diet culture. Is I am trying to drink my water. I put some cucumber and lemon in there, and it just makes it really fresh. I'm trying to make sure that I have breakfast every single day. I am trying to not feel guilty about going out for dinner with my boyfriend or my friends. Obviously that's not a thing right now because of lockdown, but in normal circumstances I'm just trying not to have such negative talk whenever I do go out for dinner. And this part's really hard. So I'm also just trying to feel less sad when I see a picture of myself that I do not like. I'm trying to work out more. I'm trying to just take Presley out for a lot more walks. And yeah, it's, you know, working out. It makes me feel sad because I just used to feel so good and so confident working out, and it used to be just so easy. I could do whatever I wanted, and since I gained the weight back so quickly and out of nowhere, I was really able to feel the difference in my body when I worked out, and so that has been really, really hard. I just remember when I was a little kid, we would always have cross country, and people used to be so good, and like I would always just try my best, but I just remember under my tongue would just start burning, and then I would get burning all down here, and I just couldn't run anymore. So when I got older and I started to be able to run so good, the 10-year-old me was just like so proud, but also I am not. My ability to work out does not define who I am. So I am just trying to remind myself of that as well. I'm trying to take my own advice. I'm really good at uplifting others, and you know, usually for myself I can be really good at uplifting myself, and you know, like I've always just been like it's a mental game, which it really is. You know, the more you negative talk yourself, the more that you will. And the more you talk positively to yourself, the more that you will. I'm just trying to be more positive and loving to myself. And I just want to make this so clear for everyone. My body, physically, it is beautiful. The amount of things that it can do for me is insane. Like, our bodies, no matter what size, shape, form, color, they're beautiful and they're magnificent and they are a temple and they should be loved and appreciated in every way possible. If I'm going to lose weight, or if anyone is going to lose weight, we're not going to lose weight because we consider ourselves ugly, because we are the furthest thing from that. Our bodies are miraculous. If anything, I just want to fuel my body with the foods that are really good for it and the foods that make me feel good, the foods that don't make me get massive, horrible acid reflux. And I just want to move my body in ways that really do make me feel happy, in ways that empower me. I want to feel good about the skin that I'm in right now. There is no, I'm going to feel good when I lose 20 pounds. No, I'm going to feel good right now as I am. Again, my body is beautiful and so are all of yours. So if you've ever heard or thought if you have ever heard or thought for a second that it's not, you're so wrong. You're so wrong. All I can say really is that I'm still learning and I am still finding the beauty in myself on my own terms. And that's going to happen through all of my stages of life. I just want to empower people in the way that they are, to love themselves and to find beauty in themselves, and just to make this world a better place than what it is, because we need that. We need kindness and we need love, and we need that from others, and we also need that from ourselves. If you have any comments at all, if you have any advice for other people, leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching this whole video. I don't want it to be a sob story because like it's not. You know, of course there are some really difficult topics to talk about for people, and this is one for me. But I have a really great life and I'm very thankful to even be alive and to be here and to be able to talk about my story, share it with you guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it. Also, if there's anything that I said that could potentially be like damaging, please let me know. I'm so happy to have feedback and listen to it and grow. That's part of how we can all grow and change, is just knowing how to respect each other. And subscribe to my channel. Anyways, I appreciate and love you guys very much. Thank you for watching.